The Indianapolis Colts defeat the Tennessee Titans 34-26, and I ain't even mad, though. You're watching the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. Welcome to the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. Here to recap the Tennessee Titans versus the Indianapolis Colts. Of course, I'm a Titans fan, and this is a very interesting thing, okay? Because usually, I am Mr. Irrational. I'm the guy that called for Mike Mularkey's job after week 4, after they lost to the Houston Texans. And the weird thing is, today, I am like the most rational Titans fan out here. You see, expectations is a very funny thing. It's a very odd thing. See, Titans fans, have been getting their expectations a little too high lately, thinking we can win the division. We're going to defeat the Indianapolis Colts. We're going to defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're going to win 5 or 6 straight games, guys. Calm down. This is the NFL. And although you can look at a schedule and you can say, oh, this is an easy matchup, we can win this game, we're going to win this game, we're going to win this game, and just go through the schedule. Guys, this is the NFL. You're going to lose games that you should win. You're just going to have that. And plus, guys, the Colts own our asses. You know this. You're a Titans fan. You know, a lot of you out there. You know that. You know they own us, man. Especially the fact in Nashville, we're not a great home team. You knew in the back of your mind, although, yes, we are decent this year. This is a decent football team. You know the facts. We're not very good in Nashville. The Colts own our asses. We're not good enough to win every single game that we should win all of these home games against teams that aren't that good. We beat the Browns by 2 points last week, and yeah, it was because they came back late in garbage time, but it was still only by 2 points. We're decent, but we're not that good, okay? It's nice to think we can win the division, make the playoffs, but it's not happening this year. So because my expectations are this low, I have absolutely no problem with what took place today. This is almost exactly how I thought the game would go, except for the fact that I didn't think we would actually take the lead late. You know, we ended up going up 23-20, and then Colts, Andrew Luck stormed back to win the game once and for all. And they won the game. So let's talk about the game analytically. Marcus Mariota. And this is a guy that's going to face some criticism over the upcoming week until Thursday when we face the Jacksonville Jaguars because he fumbled. Okay, he fumbled the ball, was stripped of the ball during the last drive, or actually the second to last drive, when we had a chance to win the game. Okay? And it's unfortunate. I get it. But first of all, the fumbling's an issue. It's been an issue. It actually hasn't been a big issue this year, but it's been an issue in his rookie season. It's been an issue in college. He still can't really hold on to the football. Doesn't really, control the football with 2 hands. I even saw him running the ball either in the first or the second quarter, running the ball to the right sideline, and a Colts player almost stripped him of the football, was damn close to stripping him of the football. He's still not great at securing the ball, but I mean, guys, we have to realize, man, this is still a young quarterback, man, and it's a little unfortunate, but he's just not ready to win games like this yet. He's very good. I mean, this guy is very good. Still didn't have an interception today. He threw one, but it was actually called back due to a penalty. Okay, fine. So on the stat sheet, he didn't throw an interception today, only had the fumble. He's playing much better. Hasn't thrown an interception officially in 3 weeks. He's playing much better. He's just going to need some years. Unfortunately, it sucks, but he's going to need some years before he can just win games like this easily. And, I'm intrigued, and I'm honestly hopeful. I think he's going to learn eventually. It's just something that he's just going to have to learn. It's not natural for him. That's one of the reasons why I prefer Jameis Winston over him, because that's something Jameis Winston does very well. He knows how to win games. Late in games, he drives on the field, he wins games. Think about it at Oregon. Marcus Mariota, he never had to do that. And when he did have to do that, he really didn't deliver. Against Arizona, he didn't deliver twice when they needed him to go down the field and tie or win the game. He really didn't do that at all in college. It's something I haven't seen. It's something he's going to have to learn. He did it against the Lions, okay? He did it against the Lions this year, and he also did it against the Saints last year, but the sample size isn't great enough yet, so I still think he needs to learn how to win games like this, and he will when he gets older. I mean, this guy's going to be in the league for 10 years at least. least 10, 15, maybe even, 18 years, something like that. And this guy's going to be around. So let him get some years under his belt and he'll get these wins for us. But today, it wasn't in the cards. Andrew Luck owned our asses, and this was my fear. I said in my predictions video, guys, we can get away with facing Ryan Tannehill and Cody Kessler, but man, elite quarterbacks are going to rip us to shreds. Even though we only held the Lions to 15 points when we faced them, Matthew Stafford was ripping us apart in the first half. Elite quarterbacks, or just good quarterbacks, they're going to notice the holes in this secondary. Jason McCourty had his worst game of the season. He was absolutely ripped to shreds by T.Y. Hilton on a consistent basis. It was absolutely horrible. Bryce McCain stinks, of course. Parrish Cox injured, and he stinks. Our quarterbacks suck. We already know this. Rashad Johnson continues to make no impact at the free safety position. Kevin Byard's not making an impact. Our secondary stinks. It absolutely stinks. Has anyone seen Denoris Cersei? Because I haven't. I don't know where this guy is. Damon Stafford can make a nice hit every now and then, but he's not very good. Our linebackers inside, Wesley Woodyard, Avery Williamson, they're not that good. And we could see that again today. They don't know how to make plays. They don't know how to strip people of the football. They're not that good. They don't know how to make game-changing interceptions. They're not that good. So we still have some holes on this team, and that's why my expectations are low. I predicted us going 7-9 before the year, and guess what my projection is right now? It's 7-9. I still think there are some losses on this schedule. We face the Packers. We go to San Diego. We go to Kansas City. We host the Broncos. We have to go to Indianapolis. We have to go to Chicago. And I know Chicago isn't very good, but I don't trust us to win every game that we should, like a lot of y'all do. Now, look. When you look at our run game, DeMarco Murray, 25 rushes for 107 yards. And I saw some Titans fans online saying we should run the ball more. Are y'all nuts? How many more times do you want us to run the football? 25 rushes by DeMarco Murray. That's a lot. And the only reason why Marcus Mariota ended up with 37 passing attempts was because in garbage time, that's all you're going to do is throw the football. So he added about 7 or 8 or 9 passing attempts on the last 2 drives. Or on the last drive, I should say. So this was a 50-50 split, and I have no problem with this split. In fact, I may even want to see us throw it a little bit more. And Derrick Henry is making no impact now. None. Zero zilch. I begged you all not to draft him in fantasy. Some of you still drafted him in fantasy. I don't know why. He's not going to do anything. Nothing in 2016. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Zero. Right now, Tajay Sharp, he had a better game today. Rashard Matthews was open on deep ball. Mariota missed him, unfortunately, but we need better wide receivers. I mean, we need Mike Williams. We need Corey Davis. We need a big-time playmaking wide receiver because we just don't have it on this football team. And Mariota needs that. But, sorry, I'm not upset, guys. I'm honestly encouraged. My biggest thing, why did I want Mike Mularkey fired? And in my heart, I still kind of do, but I'm just going to let it go for now. The biggest reason was Marcus Mariota was not playing well. It honestly had nothing to do with the record. I could care less about the record because to me, we're not making the playoffs this year. I don't care about the playoffs this year. The only thing I want, the only thing in the world is for Marcus Mariota to develop into an elite quarterback. Oh, that's all I want. And then from there, I trust John Robinson to fill out the roster over the next 5 years. That's all I want. And if we can do that, 5 years from now, Super Bowl contender, no doubt in my mind whatsoever. The most important thing to me is developing Marcus Mariota into an elite quarterback. Because when you have that elite quarterback and we have John Robinson molding this roster, we're going to be a great team. So that's the most important thing. And now the past 3 games, Mariota's played great. Yes, he has some inaccurate passes today and he had to fumble today. But 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 1 fumble. I'll take that. And that's what I'm looking for from this guy. And that's the most important thing. When it comes to our Super Bowl aspirations, it is Marcus Mariota. It is how he is developing. It is how he is playing. You do not want to be like the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, where they are questioning their quarterback. You do not want to be there. We are not there. Good. Now, as for the Colts, you won the game. Good for you. You're going to compete for this division. The thing about the Colts right now, the record isn't very good. They're 3-4. But again, all of their losses have not been bad. They got, come back against by the Houston Texans. The Texans came back and beat them. They gave up a lead against the Detroit Lions. They lost to the Broncos, but it was close. It was pretty close. They just had a strip sack, return up for a touchdown at the end of the game. So the Colts, they're not bad. They just need to learn once again how to finish games, and they did that today. So this could be a springboard for them. I'm very intrigued by this football team, and I still believe Titans fans don't want to hear this, but they're the second best team in this division. Okay, they are. I'm sorry, they are. So with that in mind, I'm intrigued. Jags still stink. And guys, don't worry. The Titans are going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars on Thursday. Okay, I'm the rational Titans fan. I'll tell you right now, they're going to beat the Jaguars on Thursday night. They're going to. Go ahead and book it. Go ahead and buy tickets. If you really want to see the Titans win a football game, buy tickets because this Thursday, they are going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. And you can put your money on that. Look, I'm 5 straight picking Titans games. I'm 5 straight, man. 5-0 the last 5 weeks. I know about this football team. Whether you can like me or not, say I need to be more of a fan, say I need to be less of a fan, whatever. I'm 5-0 the last 5 weeks, and let me tell you, they're going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars on Thursday. Now, with that said, let's move on to... And let's move on. My roommate has messaged me that the 49ers scored a touchdown. Let's move on to my takeaways from the early games. We're going to do this pretty quickly because I spent a lot of time talking about this game. So let's talk about the Raiders beating the Jaguars. Man, the Jags stink. Blake Bortles. God, this guy's awful, man. And y'all are in trouble, man, because like I was just talking about, we know we have our quarterback, but y'all have to start thinking and wondering, like, oh no, do we really have our quarterback? And that's a tough conversation to have. I don't pity y'all, man. I mean, I'm sorry. Why did I even pick the Jaguars to win 7 games? They ain't winning 7 games this year, man. Maybe 6, but not 7. Gus Bradley needs to be gone. Blake Bortles can't connect with Allen Hurns or Allen Robinson right now. Julius Thomas is invisible. They don't want to run the football. When they run the football, they're actually decent, but they don't want to do it. The Jags stink. And the Raiders, they won this week. I said, hey, they're going to win this week. It was one of my guarantees. I don't know why they were underdogs. Guys, they're going to win this game. And they won this game easily. Raiders are good, guys. They're just good. Yes, the Chiefs beat them last week. Chiefs are good. Raiders are good. And we're going to have 3 playoff teams from the AFC West, most likely. I don't want to, cinch anything, but most likely. Let's move on to the Dolphins against the Buffalo Bills. And, here's the Dolphins reset button, okay? We all need to push this because our preconceived notions about the Miami Dolphins are now incorrect. We were right to say that they stunk because they did, okay? The Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans, they ran all over this team. But ever since Jay Ajayi has been playing this way, whatever you think about the Dolphins, see this reset button? Push it, because they're a different team now with Jay Ajayi running the way he was running. The Dolphins are a different team. Here's the reset button in your head, okay? Push it, because you need to start reconceiving your thoughts about this football team. They're a different football team. They're playing well, mainly just because Jay Ajayi is running as well as he is running. And as for the Bills, I probably should have saw this coming. The Bills, they weren't going to be 5-2. I don't know why I picked them to be 5-2. That was pretty dumb. But they lost this game. Still definitely in the running for an AFC wildcard spot. But, man, the Chiefs and the Raiders are playing well. And that has to scare the hell out of you. You aren't winning this division. I mean, some of y'all thought, hey, no, you're not winning this division. And this proved that today. You're still losing games in the division. So we'll see what happens, moving forward. But you're not winning this division. So just get over it. Let's move on to the Philadelphia Eagles. And look, how good am I? Didn't I come on here? Didn't I tell y'all? I told y'all, man, the Eagles are going to beat the Minnesota Vikings. I tried to tell y'all. Go back to the comments of that video. Look how many people are calling me a dumbass and an idiot and a clown and a baboon and a buffoon and an orangutan. Well, guess what? I'm right. And it was simple. And all you had to do was just see. The Philadelphia Eagles, yes, they've lost 2 straight games. Both of those games were on the road. They were in Detroit and they were in Washington. Okay, Washington's decent. They're not great, but they're decent. They're pretty good even. They're back home, where they defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 34-3, a dominating victory. In fact, that might be the most dominating victory we've had this season, okay? They're good in Philly. And the Minnesota Vikings right now, they cannot move the football. And we finally saw Sam Bradford. He's been hiding, okay? He's had his little mask on, in the Halloween costume, portraying that he's some sort of good game manager. No. we saw the true Sam Bradford today. And wow, 2 fumbles lost, an interception. Yeah, he ended up with a passing touchdown, but that was in garbage time. He's just not very good. You don't need him, all right? And you traded a first-round pick for him, fine. We'll see what happens from here. I'm not going to talk too much trash because they're probably going to win next week, so I'm going to shut my mouth now. But I tried to tell you, and that's all I'm going to say. And I also said this. I said, look, the Eagles are going to get a special teams touchdown in this game. And I also had that intuition by me is on point this week. Let's move on to the Kansas City Chiefs beat the New Orleans Saints. I mean, what is there really to take away from this game? Drew Brees, he's great, but he's going to have some mistakes. We saw the pick 6 today, and unfortunately, that ended up kind of being the difference for them, but you can't really blame Drew Brees. I mean, yes, you guys started out 0-3, you saved your season, but you're still not good enough to contend for the playoffs. That's just the deal. It's literally the same thing from last year. It's literally the same thing. You guys are taking your 2015 season, writing it down, and doing it again, and it's very odd, but that's where we are. Let's move on to the Detroit Lions beating the Washington Redskins, and thank God, because I saw this game. And again, all I care about is getting my picks right and the Titans winning. That's all I care about. So I saw this game, and I saw the Redskins go ahead 17-13. Kirk Cousins runs for 19 yards. I say, God damn it, because I want my pick to be right. And I picked the Lions to win this game. There's a minute left. I say, maybe they can come back, but they probably won't. And then, boom, Matthew Stafford goes right down the field in only like 45 seconds, scores a touchdown, win the game. And the Lions are very odd, but, man, they're rolling. They've won 3 straight games. They've beaten 3 pretty good teams. Well, I mean, not pretty good, but decent teams. They beat the Redskins, they beat the Rams, and they beat the Philadelphia Eagles. These are decent teams, middle-tier teams in the NFL. So we need to look out for this football team. And I think they have the Vikings coming up soon. I'm not sure how soon. They could upset them, and they could get rolling. We'll see. But you have to be enamored with the way Matthew Stafford is playing currently. The guy looks absolutely fantastic. Incredible. And I said this, I think, before the season. I said with Matthew Stafford, he's going to be one of those guys that's in the league for so long that he just ends up being an elite quarterback. Like Carson Palmer, for example. Carson Palmer was never bad. He's kind of like Matthew Stafford, a guy that, hasn't found any success in the playoffs, but he's been around for years and years, for a decade. And then just because he's been in the league for so long, he just finally figures it out. Hey, this is how I read defenses, watches I do well, and then does well. And that's where Matthew Stafford is. He's really starting to learn the game on such an elite level. He's been doing it for so long. And this is what excites me when I think about Marcus Mariota and how good he could be in 10 years. When you've just been in the league for so long, you're just going to start getting it, just going to start understanding it and becoming elite. That's just what's going to happen. So with Mariota and Winston and all these guys, look out for that, man. It just kind of takes time sometimes. They're not bad. None of these guys are bad. They may not be dominant yet, but when they're in the league for so long, they will reach that range. Let's move on to the Jets against the Baltimore Ravens. And, I thought the Ravens were going to win this game, but the Ravens are a joke. Let's call it what it is. 4 straight losses after 3 straight wins to begin the season. The Ravens are a joke. And it's a shame. They got to New York for 2 straight weeks, and they just blown these games. They were up early, 10-0, and then absolutely nothing that they did after that. Geno Smith got injured. Ryan Fitzpatrick came in. Matt Forte killed this team. This team cannot put up points consistently. It doesn't matter who their offensive coordinator is. They have issues. They have problems, and they're not going to win this division, obviously. See, people are worried about the Steelers. Why? Who is going to win this division? It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even if they have Landry Jones, even if they have you, even if they have me, they're going to win this division. No one's taking this division away from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Forget about it. We have the Cincinnati Bengals defeating the Cleveland Browns, and this is the one team that could take it away from the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I doubt it. So they beat the Browns today. Good. It was a little more than I thought they would. I thought they'd probably win by not a few points, actually. I thought this game would be quite close, but they took care of business. Jeremy Hill played great. Giovanni Bernard played well. Kevin Hogan, I need to sit down and watch this game. Obviously, I haven't done it already, but what kind of quarterback is this? This guy ran for over 100 yards. Was this Marcus Mariota or Kevin Hogan? So I need to sit down and watch this film, but, I mean, what do you want me to say? We all knew they were going to win the game, so I don't know what you want me to say. I'm getting over it. Let's move on to the Giants against the LA Rams. And, look, this game went exactly the way I thought it would go. The low scoring. Case Keenum, though, awful. Just awful. And what kind of team is the LA Rams? Because I don't know. I'm not picking them. I'm just done picking them because I didn't pick them to win this game. But after this game, I'm definitely not picking them because you don't know what you're going to get from this team. Case Keenum threw 4 interceptions today after throwing 4 touchdowns last week. You don't know what you're going to get from this football team on a week-to-week basis, and I'm sick of it. I'm so tired of it. They start out the season horribly as they lost to the San Francisco 49ers 28-0, and then they lose. No, then they win 3 straight games, and now they lose 3 straight games. I don't get this team. You don't get this team. No one gets this team, and I'm not picking them. I'm not picking them. And with that said, the Giants, they win the game, keep their playoff hopes alive, but man, they still have issues offensively. They can't move the ball consistently. They can't get big plays, except whenever Odell Beckham is going up against the Ravens. And man, they have issues, man. They just have issues. And defense is good. But offensively, they just have issues. So there you go. Those are my early game takeaways from NFL Week 7. Currently, guys, my picks are on point. Only 2 incorrect games. And that is the Dolphins winning. And that is the Ravens winning. Oh, sorry, the Jets winning. So my picks are absolutely on point right now. So y'all need to look out for me. And I'm telling you right now, the Cardinals are winning tonight. You heard it here first. So there you go. Those are my NFL Week 7 early game takeaways and my Tennessee Titans game recap. What are your thoughts on this game? What are your thoughts on the takeaways? What are your thoughts on everything? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, but most importantly, to subscribe. And until the next time, this has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. Peace.